Oh yeah, so this video focuses on being happy while doing and making money. No, because you already know that this being happy thing, which is, rotating around like planets, is very jazzy, but it's not so cool in actual business. When you think about, being happy at work, people are jealous around you and they want to say, show off. And you're like, okay, can't I be just happy doing my work? And you're like, what should I do now? Because there's a big dilemma for this billionaire. I know you want to become a billionaire. So there's a big dilemma that how do you actually use happiness to create wealth? To create real wealth. There are only two ways out. Probably out of many. Which is actually the two ways in which you can actually be super successful and things will really work out so well. The first is that you actually be happy and you do everything, anything which you do for your business, you solely do it for yourself. Only for yourself. You have actually seen so many people like that who don't want public life, they don't want exposures, they just do it for themselves. They don't care about the media, the press, the people who admire them, the people who like them or love them, or they come to them, or they want them to, get invited. No. They don't want anything. They're just doing everything for themselves. Every money which they actually put in, they put in for returns for themselves. For them, happiness is all about making more money for themselves, not even for their spouses, or the family, or the friends, or relatives, or to buy more things or something. No, it just makes them super happy. And so this is the first way, that you delete the world and the business and you just create happiness within that. What would it look like or feel or sense in myself if I have tremendous wealth? And then you don't look at anyone else. And I'm not talking about being selfish, or I'm not talking about being more greedy. This is the state of happiness. You just need it. And if you need it, you go about it. And I've seen many billionaires who actually roll this way. They don't want anything. They just want more money. For whom? For just themselves. And that narrow space in which they operate, it's just very narrow. They don't even actually expand it. That means even if they have more wealth, they're not going to give any wealth away. They're not givers. They're takers. I know what the reason is, because they want more happiness. They want more happiness in their life. And they solely want themselves to be made happy, no one else. And if you think in a business perspective, it's not greed actually. It's not selfishness actually. It's self-esteem. Self-esteem, self-respect. That they want to test themselves how far they can go. And the reason why they don't want to involve other people around them to actually share this happiness, because funny fact, one of the reasons is they don't care. They don't care if people will join and will share the right way, things will roll out, because they probably don't trust. And that's the big reason why few of the billionaires, or most of them probably, will just keep the money for themselves. And they would want themselves to be putting themselves to the first line, to the top line. And you know what? The big thing is that they would avoid the screen and the digital age and the electronic age. There are many actual billionaires who have never ever come in front of a camera or a TV or a screen or digital or electronic thing. They don't want to. And right now when you actually Google things and when you actually YouTube things, you can only see the billionaires who are actually documented and recorded. But there are so many billionaires who aren't just noted, who aren't just recorded, and therefore the Google's crawler or the web spider or anything it just fails and flops. And therefore those billionaires, the value of those billionaires isn't reaching you and me both. But if you have to recognize that the world is not majorly composed of this digital electronic thing, but it's also composed of a bigger element which is called reality. And reality is there are so much is happening out of self-happiness that people want to just do it for themselves and no one else, and that is being a prime drive to so many people. And I want to tell you, I want to challenge you that if you actually do everything in your business just for yourself and no one else, the chances probably are that you're going to make much more money. You know why? Because you don't have to give away anything. You don't have to actually think about giving away anything. You don't have to plan for others, and you don't have to create plans for others and then follow up and execute and distribute money and stuff like that. And there are so many things which you just ban out, and it's legal. It's legal. I mean, making all the money you keep, it's your decision. So it's much of like heckless, instead of being reckless, like the workload, you're going to distribute it within yourself, not around yourself. So most of the problems are never existing in your life because you are just doing it for yourself. And no one at the front, back, or top, and left and right, you are the sole owner of the money which you make. And with that thought itself, how great you feel. It's not how greedy you feel, but how great you. I mean, like, there's no outgoing. There's no extra caring. There's no extra effort. You're all self-sufficient. So this is the first pursuit, which is the first option, which is nothing but, you do any amount of money making to become a billionaire, and solely you do it for yourself, and that kind of unhappiness, for that happiness you do, that's the one way you roll. And the second one is exactly opposite to that. Exactly. I want to give you a few examples. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, I think Mark Zuckerberg, and then there are so many Elon Musk. There are so many billionaires who want to actually give away more than half of what their earnings is to, I think they have taken a give pledge. You can actually go and say billionaires give pledge or something of that sort. You can just find it. So they have promised that when they pass away, they will give major portion of their money, the wealth, the billions of dollars, just away. And this is the second reason why you probably want to become a billionaire. That means you are exactly opposite of the first option. The first option is no one else, just for you, and you will become what you want. But the second is, these are two reasons how you roll actually. So the second one is, I don't want any money. One more person, Alibaba's founder, right? Jack Ma, very generous, very humble, coming from zero to becoming a hero. So now, coming back to the point, you want to be a giver. That whatever money and wealth you actually accumulate in your life, you want to make sure that you actually give away major portions of that wealth back to the society and not to your blood relations or DNA or genes. And that's such a big distinction. So now I want to tell you that understand this as like you have two options and you can actually mix and match both. That's the third option probably. You do it for yourself, you do it completely for others, and then you may choose like, okay, I want to do it for myself first and do it for others. Or second way out, you can actually do it for others first and then for yourself. It's all about this 0001, 1011 possibility, which I'm telling you, but happiness is extremely important. To summarize, I would say that build a $1 billion business, and in the journey, just don't care about what the world is around feeling, thinking, and wanting from you and needing from you. That's one option. And the second is always keep caring about what people need, want, and wish from you. That is how you reach biggest heights. If you confuse both, you're gone. You keeping in balance of proportion, you're in. So make sure that you either are 0 or 1. You're not a 0.5. Because when you become that 0.5, you can never become a 0 or 1, and therefore that 0 will not work and even the 1 will not work. And therefore I want you to actually select one of these options carefully, and if you have to blend it, then I want you to understand that you blend it in such a way that your agenda, your purpose is still achieved. All the best. Be happy for yourself, work for yourself, you'll be successful, or work for problem solving for people's happiness, and even then you can be successful. But you got to learn happiness? No, you have to use happiness, either of yourself or of your clients and customers and consumers, to make things happen. So solve problems for your happiness or for people's happiness to become a billionaire.